Good evening and welcome to EBN Prime. I know it's been a whole 3 weeks of missing in action thanks to a cough that almost attacked me and put me away. But we are lucky, we are glad that this day the Lord has made. And we're about to begin this particular bulletin, and allow me to begin with President William Ruto has praised China's President Xi Jinping for his support for key projects in Kenya, including Standard Gauge Railway, the SGR, the Nairobi Expressway, and the technical and vocational education and training institutions, among others. Ruto made these remarks during discussions with President Xi at the Great Hall of People in Beijing, China, ahead of the Forum on China Cooperation Summit. The meeting in Beijing is expected to pave way for more significant initiatives. Both leaders acknowledged that the partnership between Kenya and China has been mutually beneficial and is significantly enhancing Kenya's railways, road and port infrastructure and fostering deeper people-to-people connection.
All the countries from Kenya all the way to Congo-Brazzaville have agreed, and the Chinese government has also agreed. I think the only item standing in the way is a financing structure. We are prepared as a government of Kenya to make a contribution. I did ask CCCC to consider also investing, and then again we need to find together a financing mechanism, and I think it is time for us to engage the Chinese government and also possibly the Chinese private sector in finding a solution, a financing solution, because the necessity of having this infrastructure is agreed across the region. We've just concluded the first PPP project on energy transmission, and we believe that that is the direction we will be considering. So the transmission power lines that you're interested in, we now have a framework where we can work together under a private-public partnership arrangement to deliver power to different parts of Kenya.
Currently, under Your Excellency's directives and instructions from the National Irrigation Authority, CIPC has completed the feasibility studies of the project and submitted to the Government of Kenya. We were informed that the Government of Kenya will make comprehensive and coordinated arrangements for the project financing, and we wish to request Your Excellency's continued support to the project. As CCCC, we shall continue to cooperate with the Government of Kenya in the early works, utilizing our best resources and advantages in the agriculture and water sector, so as to commence the construction of the project as soon as possible.
The healthcare workers' strike in Meru County has entered in its over 30 days with no agreement reached between workers and Meru County government regarding the implementation of the collective bargain agreement the CBA made last year in September, which was supposed to be fulfilled by April this year. Speaking outside the Meru County offices after peaceful protests in Meru, the workers said that the meeting held by Meru County Secretary Kiamba Atheru has not yielded any results, and they will continue striking until all agreements are met.
That we are certain the county government of Meru, and particularly it is not able to address and resolve the issues affecting our health sector in this county. I want to specifically mention that all signals are clear that this county government, it has a dysfunctional health system and dysfunctional county governance, and this one it is demonstrated through failures to honor various agreements, including the recent one that we developed last year 2023. Na sisi tunasema ya kwamba tunasikia uchungu mwingi sana wakati tunalalamika mwaka nenda tukisema tuna madaktari wa kutosha waweze kupeana huduma ambayo inafaa. Serikali inasema hapana. Wanatuletea choo pale hospitali, wanatuambia wahitaji madaktari. Tukiitisha madaktari wa kutosha wanatuambia hapana, wacha watengeneze lango kuu ambalo tumeambiwa kwamba limeanza kupata mianya na lori haiwezi ingia pale.
The common candidates mumeambiwa muende mngoje at the end of the month of September. This month salary yenu itaweza kuingia kama vile ilifanywa. Number 2, the non-common candidates, the chief officer, Dr. Waome, has told me that he is finalizing the list and he is bringing to my office by tomorrow. And therefore, when that list comes to my office tomorrow, I am going to forward it to the County Public Service Board.
Still on matters healthcare workers at all facilities in Taita Taveta County have vowed to paralyze healthcare services starting from the night of tomorrow, leading into Thursday, the 5th, after county government failed to fulfill its promises as expected following previous agreements. Leaders of the Healthcare Workers Union made this announcement shortly after meeting between them and the county government attended by Governor Andrew Mwadime and senior county officials, which failed to yield any results.
The county government has been having this habit of paying us anytime they wish, like so, to pay our salaries. And we had an agreement that salaries should be paid on or before 5th of every month. But that's not happening. As we are speaking today, we are yet to receive even our August salaries.
We are not on a go-slow. We issued a strike notice which elapses on 4th, 11:59:00 hours, and from that day, the strike will commence. And it is so unfortunate it has to happen because it's the government who is on strike, it's not employees. We have been patient enough since the year 2022.
But as per now, gloves hakuna hospitali. How am I protecting the patient ule amekuja, na how am I protecting myself? Imefika mahali you're supposed to wear gloves on both hands, lakini tunavaa mkono mmoja ndo preserve isiishe. That is not acceptable. And these are the things, si eti hii ni right ya mgonjwa na mimi nikiwa pale hospitali.
And in Nyamira County, Nyamira branch of the Kenya National Union of Nurses has announced that the start of the go-slow today has issued a strike notice after 2 weeks following 3-month delay in their salaries. And speaking in Nyamira town, the union leaders said that their members are facing difficulties in their basic needs, affording transportation to work, paying school fees for their children. And they have dismissed a letter from the county secretary stating that the 2024-2025 financial year will have challenges in paying salaries. Additionally, the nurses have issued an ultimatum to the county government to promote nurses who have remained in the same position for a long time, despite meeting requirements for the promotion.
In that return to work formula, we agreed that the county was all counties were to promote all healthcare workers who are due, in particular doctors, by 1st September. That we were to have medical cover by 1st September. 1st September just ended the other day. But we want to report from Kisii County, we have not had any sign of the county willing to address all those issues which took the doctors on strike.
Our medical cover should be universal. I get treatment anywhere. So this is an ultimatum we are giving. We are not negotiating anything. Just promote our people. Bomet recently promoted people to Jogur Sahit. Those who stagnated from 2018.
Employment, that's an issue. Going to school is an issue. Payment of salaries, delay, like right now, they have not paid the deductions. Bank loans, they are accumulating the interest. So we are asking the county government of Kisii, what are you doing to your members? These are your first soldiers before you go to Mwananchi. These are your first soldiers you put together for better service delivery.
And the CS, Dr. Deborah Baraza, has assured that funds are available to pay health workers as per the collective bargain agreement for the period of July 2024-2025, addressing concerns of a potential strike. Baraza emphasized that the payment will be made within the agreed timeframe. She also highlighted national efforts in managing public health, including strong diagnostics, heightened surveillance, and ongoing training with an incident management team in place. However, she acknowledged challenges at the county level, particularly in mobilizing resources and improving preparedness for the monkeypox.
What we had agreed with the CBA, we want to assure that the funds are there, but remember it was between July 2024 to now 2025, so we want to assure them that payment will be done within that period. For the strike, we are prepared by saying that we are working on it, on the CBA, and especially on the resources. Upon discussion with my peers, I believe that there's a lot that is going on, and within the given time period, July to July, I believe that we'll be able to sort out that concern. Mpox, yes, a lot has been done, but at national level, we have heightened surveillance, we have strong diagnostics, we have been training at national level, we have an incident management team, and then I saw the isolation in Kenyatta National Hospital, communication, I know you're looking at me and saying, really? Yes, at national level, you see, so it's the levels, So the first level is there, but now county level is where the challenge is, and we take note. And I believe Dr. Muleshe, together with the public health colleagues who are looking into this response, will be able to mobilize and train and look into the guidelines, look into a monitoring and evaluation of our capacity in terms of preparedness, readiness, and response for monkeypox. So I believe that that should be taken up, because a lot is at national, as you said, but county, iko shida kidogo, so we'll address that.
And just a day after the Kenya National Union of Post-Primary Teachers called off the national strike that lasted about 2 weeks, cracks have emerged within the union over what some officials describe as betrayal by their top leadership. The teachers from counties under the broader regions of Central, Western, Rift Valley and Nyanza on Tuesday told the media during a press conference in Kisumu that KUPPET Secretary General Akel Misori did not follow necessary procedures while calling off the strike. They therefore demanded Misori's immediate resignation for taking decisions which the official argued is not in their members' best interests.
Kwa hivyo mtu hawezi kukaa kwa kona naenda ongea na mwingine na wakunywe chai alafu akuja asitisha mgomo. Hiyo ni kuchukulia walimu kama watu ambao hawajui haki zao, watu ambao hawajielewi na hawajifahamu. Huu mgomo ulitakana uendelee vile tulikuwa tumesikizana siku ya Jumapili. Na hata kama walikuwa wamesikizana na TSC jana, vile nimekufahamu, vile nimekufahamisha, haikuwa na shida hao kutujulisha kwamba tumeambiwa na mwajiri wetu hivi ndio ataweza kufanya. Kuhusu jambo hili watafanya hivi. Kuhusu jambo hili watafanya hivi. Sasa watueleza sisi kama National Governing Council member, nyinyi mnaonaje? Tuko na mtandao wetu ya kijamii ambao tunaweza tukatumia na tuweze tukujadiliana na tuseme ya kwamba ndio hawajaweza kufanya yale yote ambayo tulitaka, lakini wamefanya masuala kadha yale ambayo tulikuwa tumeitisha. Alafu tusikizane kama watu wazima, tuwapatie muda gani? Tupatie walimu wetu siku 2 au siku 3 waanze kujipanga kurudi shule. Mwalimu sio electrical switch ambayo unaweka on na off bila akili mzuri anajaribu kufanya.
Teachers were not prepared for this, and there's a lot of confusion from the parents, a lot of confusion from the institutions. As you are aware, most schools, as far as yesterday, they closed it down. They sent students home because there were no teachers in schools. But unfortunately, before the students could reach home, they are told now the strike is over. There's a lot of inconvenience that has been done to these parents, also to the teachers, because the teachers were not prepared, as my colleague has said. So we are very sorry for this, because we are not the ones who have caused this problem. It has been brought to us, to our doorstep, because the national leadership has failed. In terms of negotiation, unions were created for negotiation. That's not how the negotiations are done. the procedure of doing negotiation. The Secretary General has been on forefront telling us about unions are there for negotiations. But this time round, the negotiations that were done in not in good faith. And that's
namna gani? Hawa walimu wanataka wafika kwa shule namna gani? Leo hii mwalimu asipofika kwa shule Kenya hii, siwe mwalimu atakuwa amefanya makosa. So hiyo hatua ya kusitisha mgomo kienyeji, kama gari ya miraa, unasomesha kama gari ya miraa. Hiyo ndio ujinga ambayo tumekataa na tutakubaliana nayo. Hiyo ni kinyume na sheria na tunataka ofisi yetu ya kitaifa ijieleze ni kwa sababu gani haifai tuchukulie kisheria. We want to take legal action against the national office because what they have done is against the law, against this constitution of.
And civil servants can finally breathe a sigh of relief after the government pledged to honor the second phase of the collective bargaining agreement. Public Cabinet Secretary Justine Muturi, who also spoke to the press in Nairobi today, assured the disgruntled workers the government will implement the new wage structure as previously agreed. Muturi, while addressing the matter, called on civil servants to exercise patience as the government intensified its efforts to ensure a seamless payment.
The National Treasury, which I may wish to announce, has agreed to provide resources for the payment of civil servant salaries as per the terms contained in the collective bargaining agreement. Indeed, I wish to thank the National Treasury for seeing to it that this agreement is honored. There had been, of course, I'm sure many of you might want to ask why it is that we needed to go to talk to everybody about something which was already obvious having been agreed to. And we are also rolling out in the spirit of being effective and efficient in service delivery. We are rolling out a robust mechanism of one-stop shop for service in the framework of the Huduma centers. Our aim is to ensure that the public is able to be served as closest to their places of abode as possible.
From health, and now let's switch gears into politics. Safina Party leader Jimmy Wanjigi on Tuesday, September 3rd, came out guns blazing at President William Ruto over alleged abductions that were reported in the country at the height of the anti-government protests. Addressing the press in Nairobi, accompanied by his lawyer Willis Otieno and other leaders, Wanjigi asked Kenyans to rise up and demand accountability and justice over continued abductions witnessed in the country. The Safina Party leader argued that the current administration, under the leadership of President William Ruto, was solemnly responsible for abductions and killings.
It is devastating for a family and friends when a loved one disappears. Yet this is a harsh reality facing Kenya today. I myself am very touched by the plight that has been going on, and more so because Bob Jage and the Longman twins came to visit me in Kamkunji after I was illegally arrested by the police. They were abducted after visiting me. This is 3 weeks now, and they have not been seen, notwithstanding a lot of the court orders.
These issues of forced disappearance and abductions actually constitute crimes against humanity. And where we are going to seek for redress here in Kenya. And we are also going to invoke universal jurisdiction in countries that have accepted that concept as a means of achieving redress.
Still matters politics. Bumola Member of Parliament Wanami Wamboka has called on leaders of the Luhya community to push for the region to be given employment opportunities as were agreed before the general elections. Speaking in Sirende within his constituency, Wamboka argued that the President William Ruto embraced a broad government. The Western region also deserved its fair share of opportunities in that particular government. However, he expressed his disapproval of the president's decisions to reappoint some of his previous cabinet members, stating that there are many capable Kenyans who can serve in different positions. Additionally, Wamboka criticized the president's recent visit to attend a Sunday service in the county, claiming it was demeaning since the president has been making development visits to other regions. The MP urged President William Ruto to focus on fairness by making development visits across the country, as attending religious services does not constitute a visit to the Western region.
Nataka nafasi ya Mluya pia iheshimiwe hapo. Na mimi nataka kumwambia rais ambaye ni rafiki yangu kwa heshima, sisi, wewe ni kama baba, uko na maboma mingi, mabibi wengi. Ukipika nyama huku, lazima pia huku wakule nini? Nyinyi mliona rafiki yangu Mheshimiwa Rais amekuwa Nyanza kwa ndugu zetu wa Jaluo. Siku ngapi? 4. Mweka maendeleo, mabilioni. Ukianza kuhesabu mabilioni zimewekwa huko, kichwa itakuuma. Lakini jana naona anakuja kwetu ati kukuja kanisa. Akasema Mheshimiwa Ruto, sisi kiongozi wangu Raila Odinga amesema tufanye broad based. Paka sisi makali tunateremsha kidogo. Tukupatie nafasi wewe kama rais wa Kenya, uongoze wa Kenya vyema. Sisi tunataka kila jamii, kila region ipatiwe haki yake. Watu wa Western wameumia sana katika hizi regime zote. Mheshimiwa Rais, tafadhali, sisi tumekupa nafasi ya kuunganisha wa Kenya. Wacha kurudisha hao watu through the back door. Wacha kuwarudisha kwa nyumba kupitia dirisha. Kama mtu ameshindwa kazi ya waziri, ataweza kazi nyingine namna gani? Ataweza namna gani? Wiko wa Kenya milioni zaidi ya 50 wanaweza fanya kazi. Tunaomba Mheshimiwa Rais, wa Kenya waliongea na kauli moja. Wakasema hao watu wameshindwa na kazi, hawawezi fanya kazi. Wewe ukawafukuza wakaenda nyumbani kwa sababu hawawezi kufanya kazi. Mheshimiwa Rais, wachana na hao watu.
Elders and youth have been encouraged to further their education by enrolling in adult education, especially for those who had to drop out of school for various reasons. Speaking at the Changamwe Adult Education Office, Grace Ayuma, the officer in charge of the program, emphasized that there is an opportunity to advance through continuous education. Ayuma also mentioned that the KCSE education system will be completed soon and people should take advantage of this continuous education opportunity to fulfill their life goals. On her part, Florence Wanjiku, the officer in charge of adult education in the Jomvu constituency, highlighted the challenges they face in running the program. She mentioned that a shortage of teachers makes their work difficult and urged the government to support them in overcoming these particular challenges.
Mwaka huu tutakuwa tunaangazia na kufanya sherehe yetu inaitwa International Literacy Day katika sehemu za Makozi huko Bokole, na mwito wetu ni kwa vijana na wazee wajitokeze wapate kurudi kwa madarasa wasome. Pia tunawaeleza kuwa mfumo huu wa KCSE uko karibu kumalizika ikifika mwaka wa 2027. Kwa hivyo ni wakati wetu ambao tujitokeze, tutumie hii nafasi isipotee. Na elimu yetu ni nzuri sana, haipakui mzee wala kijana. Wote mnakaribishwa na mwisho utaona uzuri wake. Hizi nafasi ambazo huwa mnapoteza kwa kuwa hauna kisomo, utakuwa na nafasi ya kuzitumia kuingia katika polisi, kuingia katika jeshi. Sababu grade ambayo ni huko ni ya chini, ni ya D, na unaweza kuifikisha. Pia utapata kujisimamisha kibiashara na utaendeleza kimapato. Kwa hivyo karibuni sana, tunawakaribisha, tujitokezee kwa wingi.
Katika idara hii pia tuko na changamoto kadhaa ambazo zinafanya kazi yetu isikuwe rahisi kufanya. Kwa mfano tuko na upungufu mkubwa sana wa walimu. Unapata kuwa wale ambao wanahitaji kusoma ni wengi sana ukilinganisha na kiwango cha wale walimu ambao tuko nao. Inakuwa wakati mwingine ni vigumu kuwafikia wale wanafunzi wetu. Pia tungeomba serikali tuongezee mgao wa rasilimali ili tuweze kupata vifaa maalum vya kuendeleza hii elimu yetu na ili tuweze kuwapa watu wote elimu ambao wanahitaji.
And back into the healthcare, the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, KEPSI, has issued a stern warning to traders who smuggle counterfeit seeds through various borders in the country and illegally sell them to farmers. These traders will face serious legal consequences. Speaking during the board's visit to Kemphi's station at the Namanga border in Kajiado County, the official reiterated that the unchecked seeds could introduce plant diseases, pests that may invade crops and cause losses for farmers. The organization stated that the robust measures have been put in place to order points and all airports to inspect all seeds entering the country to ensure farmers receive quality seeds and guarantee the nation's food security.
Kulikuwa na kongamano la kimataifa kuhusu umuhimu wa mbegu bora, na hapo pia tulikuwa tunaongea ili wale watu wanakusa mbegu hapa Kenya pia mbegu iwe ya rahisi ili wakulima wengi wawe wanamundu kununua mbegu. Tuangalie ni nini nafanya bei ya mbegu iwe rahisi, kwa sababu bei ikiwa rahisi wakulima wataenda kununua mbegu ingine wanafikiria ni mzuri lakini sio mbegu bora.
Huu mpaka ambao ni Wanamanga tuko na wale wakaguzi ambao kazi yao ni kuhakikisha ubora wa mimea ambayo yanaingia nchini na yale ambayo yanatoka kwenye nchi yetu yakielekea kwenye nchi zingine. Huu mpaka ambao ni Wanamanga tuko na wale wakaguzi ambao kazi yao ni kuhakikisha ubora wa mimea ambayo yanaingia nchini na yale ambayo yanatoka kwenye nchi yetu yakielekea kwenye nchi zingine. Pia jambo lingine ambalo lina maana zaidi ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunarahisisha biashara kati yetu sisi na nchi ambazo ziko kwenye mipaka yetu, ili kwamba waweze kufanya biashara kwa njia ya urahisi.
And we are putting on notice those unscrupulous seed traders who are selling fake seed, that our inspectors will come and arrest you and take you to court according to Seed and Plant Varieties Act.
And Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Rebecca Miano, has urged Kenyans to visit the country's national parks to support tourism and boost the national economy. Speaking during their visit to the Savo West National Park in Taita Taveta County, the Cabinet Secretary Miano mentioned that the government, through her ministry, has put in place robust strategies to enhance tourism, aiming to attract up to 5 million tourists by 2027.
There is a priority for the wildlife conservation ya kuconvert wildlife ndio ikuwe inajenga uchumi wa nchi, na pia kuongezeka kwa wanyama porini, na vile serikali itashirikiana na communities ili waweze kufanya hiyo kazi pamoja. Ningependa kuuliza Wakenya waje wajionee nchi yao. Mimi kama mmoja wa Kenya, tangu nichukue hii wizara wiki 3 iliyopita, nimegundua miujiza mingi, vitu mingi sana katika hii nchi yetu. Hata kabla wageni hawajafika hapa, wacha Wakenya wajionee. Hakuna wasiwasi ati kuna miradi ama projects zitamalizwa ama hazitaendelea. Kazi yangu ni kuendeleza kazi, kwa sababu serikali hata waziri akibadilishwa, mikakati na projects lazima ziendelee. Tuko na target ya watalii milioni 5 by the year 2027. Tunaona hata tuko na mengi kabisa ya kuvutia watu wengi kuliko hata hiyo target yetu ya milioni 5. Tunatarajia tukitia bidii, tufanye kazi pamoja. Tumepata ushirika mzuri sana hata kutoka kwa rais. Ameshikilia hii wizara kwa sababu ametueleza hii wizara iko katika priorities zake kuongeza watalii na pia kuhifadhi wanyama na kuhifadhi mazingira.
And the Cabinet Secretary for Investments, Trade and Industry, Salim Vuria, has announced that 1.4 billion has been set aside to hasten the Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone compensation process to project affected to the affected persons to ensure the land is available for investment opportunities promptly. Speaking during his progress update meeting for the implementing agency of Mombasa Special Economic Zone at the headquarters of the Kenya Ports Authority, Mvuria said the KPA as an implementing agency had already been funded 1.4 billion to conclude the compensation program by the next month.
Kenya Ports Authority as an implementing agency has already been funded at a tune of 1.4 billion to conclude the compensation program that is going on. And in the next 1 month, all the issues of compensation will have been concluded. And this compensation is going to take place in 2 fronts. One front is that 1,648 project affected persons will be allocated some land, and then they will also be given support to develop their new areas. This new land where compensation will happen is 430 acres.
Baadhi ya yale ya mambo ambayo alikuwa ametutia tumbo joto ni kwanza ni kuhusiana na ile fidia ilikuwa inalipwa wale ambao wameathirika na huu mradi, na tumeweza kuelezwa kwamba tayari malipo yameanza kulipwa, na vile vile pia zile ardhi ambazo zimetengwa kuweza kuwa settle wale ambao wameathirika pia tayari zimeweza kutengwa. Kwa hivyo tumeridhika na hiyo, na vile vile pia kwa vile malipo yanaendelea na kuna kamati ambazo zimewekwa kuhusiana na masuala ya utata ama ubishi baina ya wananchi na vile vile pia baina ya KPA na wale waathiriwa.
And the Kenya Tea Development Agency Holding Limited Smallholders Farm Tea Farmers has been urged to pick the best tea leaves as it molds the setting of a minimum quality standards that must be attained by all KTDA teas. The move under KTDA National Chair Enos Njeru says will enhance KTDA's competitiveness in the global market and ensure that Kenyan tea continues to be a product of choice. To reduce the volume of the bulk tea stored in our warehouse, KTDA will focus on diversifying its product range. Farmers were also encouraged to pluck the best quality tea, noting that the high volumes of the unsold tea has been exaggerated by the poor quality, hawking of tea and use of machinery handling of tea after harvesting, and the abolishment of direct overseas sales has also affected the tea stocks.
Mostly the issue of quality comes from the production level where farmer plucks tea. Mainly quality is compromised when farmers do not adhere to rules that are given to them of plucking 2 leaves and a bud. Sometimes the issue of tea hawking, they affect quality mainly because there are umpires who don't mind about the quality they buy from our farmers. But since there has been a lot of economic hardship to our farmers, so sometimes they think of earning something for hand to mouth. So if they don't get something that is motivating, sometimes they may pluck and sell to any buyer who can give him something that specific day. But we've seen KTDA, we've gone up on improving our payment to our farmers. At least we increased monthly pay to motivate our farmers to give us quality. And we've seen this one also increase production in our KTDA teas. Farmers have moved from private entities. Now they are coming to KTDA because of quality. The issue of machinery plucking also compromise the issue of quality. We also urge our farmers also to exercise care when plucking with machinery. Hand picking mostly is the one that gives the best quality, and then we urge our farmers also to look at that. And there also the issue of handling. tea handling. When we pluck tea and then we put a lot of tea in one basket, sometimes that issue of handling, it compromises quality, because when a leaf breaks, it releases to the air a lot of chemicals that also affect its taste when it goes to the market. So certain issues that we are committed to sensitize our farmers so as to look at them when handling, when plucking, and even getting these teas to our factories. This will improve our quality.
Ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of our bulletin today. It's been a great day, the third day of September. As all systems go this month of September. Big shout out to everyone who's tuned in from wherever, people from Diauri Primary, Simon, Mercy, Linda, we say a big thank you. Milka watching from Komarok, we say a big thank you for tuning in. The entire digital space, we say a big thank you for tuning in. From me and the entire crew that has made this particular transmission a success, Odipo behind the cameras, Chibalonza for putting up the scripts, Moses back in the TX, we say a very big thank you. Have a lovely, lovely evening and enjoy the rest of your week. My name has been, will always be, Gaston. See you again next Tuesday.